wherever you are, world over, in different countries, different time zones, and different continents. We hope that you're taking care of your health, your wellness, taking care of yourself, and please take care of yourself, your family, your friends, your institutions, your community, your society, and all the people those are directly, indirectly associated with you world over. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a special session. It's a 222nd, 222. Wow, that's a great number. And it is 12th of October, 2020, and this is 222, that is 222 webinar. And we are going live on the YouTube. If you wish, you can come and you can join. It's a series making education relevant. What is the purpose of education? Why education? Why to go to school? Why to take particular subject? Why to acquire skills? Why to acquire competencies? So the government of India has declared or released or approved, whatsoever term you want to use, the new National Education Policy 2020 on 29th of July 2020. And on 7th of August, there was interaction address to all the education stakeholders by the Honorable Prime Minister of India and Honorable President and all Lieutenant Governors, Governors, Education Ministers, and of course, the schools, colleges, institutions, polytechnic, ITIs, higher education, technical education, engineering education. Everybody was together there to support and to listen to what is the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister of India. So, ladies and gentlemen, everybody is focused, everybody is interested, and everybody is happy that the new national education policy is on the way. Now it has been announced, thereafter it has to be implemented. And once it gets implemented, then it is to be monitored. So today, this afternoon, it's indeed a great privilege. As far as India is concerned, it's afternoon. As far as Europe is concerned, it's early morning. People are having their morning cup of coffee, tea. I spoke to some of them. They are just going for the morning walk, morning jog. And at the same time, when I look little further, people are preparing their evening dinners as far as Australia, as far as New Zealand, Fiji, and other countries are concerned. As far as ASEAN countries are concerned, people have just done their evening tea and they are in different time zones. Somebody is at 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30. So we extend a very hearty welcome to all of you. We have got a very distinguished guest today, Dr. John Abraham, Director, Scad Group of Schools, and he's going to talk about how basically there's a social change and development process when we talk about with the relevance of new or the National Education Policy 2020. Our chamber since 1994 is in the service of the non-resident Indians world over. We are proud of them. There are more than 30 million non-resident Indians world over at this point of time. They are doing wonderful job. They are bringing proud to India. During this COVID-19, they are supporting the entire ecosystem their own way, whatsoever they can. And our efforts are to reach out like doctors, engineers, nurses, and paramedical people. They all are doing their job and they're warriors. Similar way, our teachers, our educators, our principals, our stakeholders, those are in education fraternity, education ecosystem, they are also doing wonderful job and they are warriors and they are God-sent messengers their own way. Let us do the hand-holding of every child the best possible way. So new education policy, and as far as school education is concerned, that is the base of the universe, that is the basic foundation of the universe. Children must be extremely happy that the coding in the schools will come right from sixth class. No separate art, no commerce, no science. All of us, we are together. There's going to be a vocational, there's going to be a skill, there's going to be a corporate visit, field visit, outdoors, your games and your sports. Everything is going to be a part of your new education ecosystem. During this pandemic, while empowering the education system, Our chamber also invites innovative inputs on water conservation during this lockdown while empowering the entire education ecosystem. So, anyone out of us, if you have got any good idea how to save water at home, how to save water at school, how to save water at college, how to save water at working places, all that you can put into the system over here, and we would be more than happy to share with the entire global fraternity. So, let us save every drop of water. That's what we wish to share. Now, when we want to save water, our girls, our ladies, our girl child, they are at home, they are at schools, they are at colleges, they are at workplaces. Ladies play a very important role for all of us, ladies and gentlemen. And when we are talking about that, we are proud of our girl child. We are proud of all of them. And mostly, if you see in the education fraternity also, there are lots of girl child, lot of ladies, lot of women folk, because their patience, their tolerance level, and their assimilation and their retention, and they can absorb lot of shocks of life. So women empowerment, women education, every girl child's education is very, very important, which we all have to take care of. Our chamber, from morning till evening, we are in your service. We reach you out, and we have got our own finishing school, the global finishing school from our chamber. No money to be charged from anybody, no service charges, no hidden charges, nothing. Everything is complimentary, right from morning 9 till evening 9, 1200 hours. 12, 12 hours in a day. Our chamber gives you all hand holding. Should you wish, your school, your college, your institution needs any kind of a support, whether for the students or for the elders, do let us know. We would be more than happy for that. This is the complete canvas what we have got for the whole week. Monday to Thursday, we talk about YES program, youth empowerment strategies. Friday evening, we talk about Lord Buddha's teachings in our education system. Saturday evening, we go to Swami Vivekananda's teachings and their relevance in our education system. And also on Saturday evening, because Saturday we have got two programs, other days we have got one program. But this is a special program today we have got, because after this, you have got our very important program today, that is at 6:30 p.m. in the evening, where we are talking about entire media entertainment industry. All children, those are interested to learn about how to become anchor, how to learn coding, how to become animator, how to speak well, how to become master of ceremony of any program, how to be a part of media entertainment industry, radio, television, theater, music, films, animation, acting, anything. So this evening, today, on the same channel, on the YouTube, where you are watching now, you can see at 6:30 p.m. today in the evening, Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Government of India, their Sector Skill Council for Media Entertainment, who will be with us 6:30 p.m. today. So then comes Sunday morning, we have got a program at 9:30, Sunday at 3 p.m., and Sunday at 5 p.m. So every day, ladies and gentlemen, there's a special program. This is the research and search which our chamber has carried out till 10th of October. Your basic food necessity is very important. Your health is very important. And your education is very important. And we have to go in a very humble way, very polite way. Let's live peacefully, all of us, and let's share with others whatever we have got. Whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, that is the philosophy we live with. Our chamber is dedicated during this pandemic to take on making education relevant. This afternoon, we are privileged. We have got Dr. John Abraham, Director, Scad Group of Schools. Dr. John Abraham is an accomplished person He's a visionary leader in the school sector, school education, with more than 30 years of experience in planning, operating, and overall administration of various schools. He has had an illustrious 15 years long stint with the Bishop Cotton Boys School, Bangalore. And ladies and gentlemen, at present, he is the director, Scad Group of Schools. We extend a very hearty welcome to Dr. John Abraham. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, let's hearty welcome to you, Dr. John Abraham.
Thank you, sir.
It's a
Thank
pleasure
you,
to have you
Dr.
with us. It's a pleasure to have you this afternoon with us.
Me too, sir. After 1 week of time, we are back again together discussing on the education system. So nice. Nice to be always with you, because when I always see your energy level, I just get, I bow before you. Hats off to you, sir. One after the other, so many webinars you do. And as you say, you take only one meal a day. I don't know, where does the energy come from? You can tell us, from where does the energy come? Then I can start off with today's.
Thank you. The energy comes from one should enjoy whatever we are doing. You should be passionate about what you are doing. Be happy with what you are doing, and always find a purpose. Why have you come on this planet? What is the purpose of yours to come on this planet? And what value, and a humble value, you can add to this planet while being over here. And then you will never get tired. You will always be happy.
That's true. That's
so,
true.
With these words, let me extend a very hearty welcome to John Abraham. And ladies and gentlemen, now I go in silence, and hearty welcome to Dr. John Abraham, Director, Scad Group of Schools, and let's have his views.
Thank you, sir. I would like to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone who's watching us this day. It is a special day. I just wanted to thank the International Chamber for Service Industry to be very kind to us, to get all educationists on a common platform to come and share our views. When there are nobody to listen to us, I think there is one platform which is always ready to hear. Thank you very much, Dr. Gulshan, Sharma, for getting all educators like us, those who have different ideas. We may agree, as I told you in the last webinar, we may agree, we may disagree, but the beauty is that we all are ready to come together. That is what it is. When we are ready to come together and discuss, put our ideas, I think we can go back taking something good from each other. And that is how the world should be. Discuss, iron out the difference, and then move forward. Make this world better. And I think you have been doing a tremendous and maybe a wonderful job in this, getting all people like us. One more thing I would like to say today is the Scad Group of Schools, our Scad Group of Institution. As you know, that I work for that institution as a director for the school. SCAD stands for Social Change and Development. Today is our Founders Day. Today is our Founders Day, and the Founders Day is celebrated on the birthday of our chairman. So I would like to wish Dr. S. Cletus Babu, who's our founder chairman, many happy returns of the day. Let God bless him and keep him safe, give him long life. I'll be showing few videos, see, actually, I've decided to make this program in two parts. First, I'll be discussing or maybe trying to showcase what SCAD is doing. And then I'll bring in New Education Policy 2020, how we can bring social change. Social change is nothing but a seed where we sow, and the result is nothing. Development is nothing but the fruit that we are going to enjoy. And the fruit will not come very soon. The fruit will depend on the root, how deep it is going to go down into the earth. Based on that root and where it is rooted, we'll be able to get the fruit. So I'll be discussing, and I'll be taking few examples. I know there are eminent persons than me who can discuss and throw light on this new education policy. I don't want to do much on this, but I would like to, correlate the new education policy, what way that what we are looking into to bring social change. If we are able to bring social change, I think the education policy will be successful, or else it will be another policy, and like how we say, old wine and new bottle. It will be something like that. And I don't want, people, eminent people have worked on this policy. They have changed the structure. They have brought it out so beautiful. I would say it is one of the best policy that country has ever got. Now it is up to us how we are going to implement it. Are we ready for it? Is our schools and institutions ready for it? Is our children geared up for it? This is all what the institution and the stakeholders have to look into it. The government has done their part. It is we who have to look into it and see how it is going to implement. So I will start my presentation. I'm going to share my screen with everyone.
So, heartiest congratulations to Dr. Babu on the Foundation Day, and we send our best wishes to all your teachers, all your students, and your entire ecosystem. Our heartiest congratulations to your Foundation Day.
Thank you, sir. I will inform him. I think he's not watching because he's too busy with the birthday celebration. I've also forwarded the link to him. If he's free, he said he will join. In fact, I wanted him also to come and say a few words, but I think it's his day, so I thought I should not disturb. So, this is what I would like to do today. I would like to say something about SCAD, and then I'll come into the new education policy 2020, how it is going to bring a social change in development. So I've divided the entire presentation in two parts. So this is a story about a humble man who started this journey alone with three members with 300 rupees, that is something but $6 in his hand, to start this reform, social. His name is Dr. Cletus Babu. The lady that you see beside him is his wife, Dr. Amli Babu, who joined later on. Actually, Dr. Cletus Babu was a reverend in the Catholic Church, and he asked his bishop to give him permission for a year where he could go out and do social work, because God had put this in his heart that he has to reach out to the poor and needy. And the bishop was so kind to give this permission, and that is how he moved out from the church for 1 year, and he started in a room which is 10 by 10 with $6 or 300 rupees in his hand. And he initially got almost 14 villages into it. This is our vision. Our vision is to make the society a better place where all people are treated with dignity and respect. See, this is one thing that we all try to ignore. When we treat somebody, we have to treat somebody with dignity and respect, affording everybody equal opportunity, which is not so at present in our country. We don't give opportunity to everyone. It's all on the paper. In reality, we don't see that right and recognition. Now, this is the vision with which we are moving forward. We are moving almost, I think, 38 years we are into this. Our mission is that as an NGO, that is non-governmental organization, is to empower villagers by offering them training and support they want, need to lift them out of poverty. Now, as we look into the economy of our country, we still say that India is a developing country. We have already celebrated 74 years of our independence. And when we mark this number with some of the countries, like say, for example, Japan. Japan is one example which I will be bringing in my talk little later. And like every Indians like to refer the Japanese with regard to what they are doing, something good that they are doing. So Japan was totally shattered and destroyed during the Second World War. But you see today it has emerged as one of the superpowers. Now, what is the secret behind it? Is it something to do with the education policy? Or is it something about the government who is ruling them? Or is it the people there? These are certain things that we have to look into and we have to ponder. So, India still, we call it as developing. And the reason, after 74 years of independence, we have come a long way. We have come a long way. We are maybe in the space technology. We are one among the 7 top countries in the world where we can take credit. We are now slowly, strengthening our defense our equipments that we have, the technology that we have in the defense sector, the soldiers, the officers in the army, the air force, and the navy. We have got one of the top men's. When we look at the way they discharge their duties, now we are doing good in certain sectors. But which is the sector that we are still yet to do? When I come back, and when I look carefully, this is my view. I'm just putting my view. It could be wrong. Maybe some may disagree to it, but what I feel, as an educationist, being in this field for 30 years, what I feel is we have not done much with education in the education sector. Today, education is not as a sector; it is looked as an industry. And when we look at industry is something which produces product. Now, that is how we look at education today. But with this vision, I just want to go into a first video which I have selected today: changing villages, changing life. What do we do? So this is the project that the Scad world had taken. The Scad group have taken, and you can just watch the video. It is in Tamil, but the score is given in English, so people can even read. Is it audible?
There is no audio.
Okay, sir, 1 minute. I'll come back. 1 minute. Is it audible now? Just tell me once it starts.
Yes.
Scad is a real grassroots organization. They know the community, how to manage the communities, because they are with the communities.
And among them, major groups were.
This is our chairman, Dr. Cletus Babu.
We have worked are the salt pen workers and also the agricultural landless laborers. In that way, the project belonged to the people. We have always played a catalytic role or a facilitator role. The volunteers are our backbone of the organization.
Every program we are implementing through the women group. Then they will definitely achieve the things.
And when their children are going to schools, when their health care is better, the mortality rates are improved, then also the income generation is better. We think that we should move on and select other villages.
It started very humbly with some 15 villages, and today in the last 25 years we have grown up to 500 villages. But still there are thousands of villages which need such care and concern and empowerment to women.
I'll go to the next video. This is reaching the unreached.
Reaching the unreached is the vision of Scad always. In reaching those who are downtrodden and left behind, Scad strives to contribute to a developed nation.
Old age care has been really neglected. Our program is totally different from any other old age program. We don't institutionalizing the old age people. Rather, we financially support them and they live in their own village and take care of their needs through our financial support. Generally, around 4 to 5% of the population in India are disabled. National area, we found around 1,200 children are suffering from various deformities. Normally, differently abled program is being run by some institution and they have been given some therapy, some education. We started at community-based rehabilitation program. If we find a child in the village, any type of disabilities, we try to identify, assess the requirement, and we provide the services according to the need.
According to the survey, Tamil Nadu in certain parts will be a desert soon.
Tuticorin is one of the driest region in this country. The water flow is reducing. Less water, very less agricultural practices, and temperature wise sometimes go up to 40 to 43. Scad is doing a lot of work on the climate change.
According to the survey, Tamil Nadu in certain parts will be a desert soon.
Tuticorin is one of the driest region in this country. The water flow is reducing. Less water, very less agricultural practices, and temperature wise sometimes go up to 40 to 43. Scad is doing a lot of work on the climate change issue. The first thing we are doing is tree planting program.
When we came to this campus, it was all barren land, very few trees. Of course, then we started slowly planting trees, not less than 500,000 saplings every year. Through trees, so much can be done. So with all that, this area is getting the highest rainfall in this district. So they get water. Water is life.
இருக்கிற மாதிரி நிறைய எதுவும் யூஸ் பண்ண முடியாது. அந்த விலைக்கு தகுந்தாக்கில் தான் நம்மளால் குழந்தைங்களுக்கு பைனாப்பிள்லாம் வச்சு பழம் பறித்து இப்போ ஒரு மாதம் தான் அதை பறித்து இல்லை கிரேப்ஸ் வச்சுருந்தோம். இதில் ஃபுல்லாக கிரேப்ஸ் தான் போட்டிருந்தோம். நிறைய பழம் பழுத்துட்டு இருந்துச்சு.
இப்போ இது வைக்கிறதுக்கு ஐடியா கொடுத்தது ஸ்கேட் தான். அது பர்சன் அது எல்லாமே இந்த இதெல்லாம் அவங்க இதில் தான் செய்வாங்க. அவங்க தான் ஆரம்பிச்சு வச்சு அவங்க மூலமாக தான் செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கோம்.
The plan is maybe in another 10 years time, a minimum of 2 to 3 million trees we should plant in this region.
We can't just take a tree as a separate thing from life. It has got very good link, and that is going to save the whole humanity. This is my belief.
If you take the rural villages, most of the women, they are anemic. Nearly 40% of the children, they are malnourished. It's because of lack of nutritious food. Nowadays the vegetables also becoming expensive. For a common person it's not possible to buy a lot of vegetables. At least what we are trying during the rainy season from October onwards, if they can grow their own food, they don't need to spend any money, they can properly feed the children and themselves. In every village we are promoting a kitchen garden, especially through women's self-help groups.
To reduce that malnutrition among the children, we are supplying these mini vegetable seed kits to the women self-help group members. By raising this kitchen garden in the backyard of their house, they can get fresh and healthy vegetables around the year. Every year, we are giving more than 5,000 mini vegetable seed kit packets. And this year, we are planning to double the amount of vegetable seed kit packets. Every year, the demand is increasing.
Can you show me your garden?
பைனாப்பிள்லாம் வச்சு பழம் பறித்து இப்போ ஒரு மாதம் தான் அதை பறித்து இல்லை கிரேப்ஸ் வச்சுருந்தோம். இதில் ஃபுல்லாக கிரேப்ஸ் தான் போட்டிருந்தோம். நிறைய பழம் பழுத்துட்டு இருந்துச்சு. அது நம்ம காய்கறி கடையில் வாங்க வேண்டியதில்லை, நமக்கு கிடைக்கிறத வச்சு மற்ற பக்கத்தில் உள்ளவங்களுக்கும் ஹெல்ப் பண்ணிக்கலாம், பைசாவுக்கும் கொடுத்துக்கிடுதோம். அப்படிங்கும்போது நிறைய நன்மைகள் இருக்குது.
Dr. John, can we get on to your discussions and your presentation now?
Yes. One.
Yeah.
It has got stuck.
No worries. You can close it. You can close it from the top right side corner. Yes. We can see you now.
Yes, I am trying to get the slide back. Just give me a few seconds.
No worries, no worries. Take your time, take your time. Meanwhile, I can request all the audience, wherever you are, whosoever has joined this particular program, and particularly from the Scad school, those are the teachers and students and people those have joined over there, kindly post your views and kindly post your remarks into the YouTube, the link which has been sent across to you. If you come on Dr. Gulshan Sharma's page of the ICSI, then we would be more than happy to get across to all of you. It would be a pleasure. So kindly post your details. There should be active participation. More and more people should join this afternoon. Okay, I can ask one question quickly, and somebody has to get the honor and the award on that. Okay, what is the most important skill we all should have to be successful in life? And whosoever gives correct answer, you get 200 rupees cash prize. Anybody who can give me the correct answer, what is the most important skill on this planet? What is the most important skill? There are so many skills we require to be successful in life. Kindly post in the YouTube. Kindly post it over here. I wish to get your ideas. Okay, cannot hear you, sir. Oh, she says I cannot hear you. Lena Jacob, ma'am, my question is, what is the most important skill on this planet? What is the most important skill on this planet Earth? What skill you should possess? What is the most important skill for all of us? Please post in the YouTube group. Can hear now. Okay, Lena Jacob, ma'am, great. At least you mentioned patience. Okay, patience. Patience is a very important skill. Okay, good. Somebody else? Somebody else? Yes, listening and speaking. Okay. Someone else? Someone else? Anybody else? What is the most important skill? I see Nirmal Singh, I see Dharma, I see Swetlin, I see Rekha Prashant, and then I see Monica Seals. Right, Trisha. Okay, Trisha. Okay, next, Sakti Kumar, reading and writing. Okay, Trisha Muller. Okay, next, what is the most important skill on this earth, on this planet? Dr. John, whenever we are ready, we can go ahead.
It's got stuck, sir, the slide. I'm just trying to...
You can do one thing. You switch off your laptop once, sign off and sign in again. No problem.
Okay.
No problem. Meanwhile, your children are with me and your teachers are with me. No worries. No worries. Okay, Lena Jacob, ma'am. You have mentioned, okay, teamwork. Teamwork is also very important. Monica Seals, teamwork. Okay, somebody else? Somebody else? Anybody else? What is the most important skill on this planet? What is the most important skill on Earth planet? Anybody else? What is the most important skill? Kindly post it in the YouTube. I want to hear, I want to see. Kindly post it over here. Anybody else? You can keep posting. I need more results, more people. Participate, participate. I want to get your answer. By that time, Dr. John Abraham will also join back. Kindly keep posting. Kindly keep posting. I want to see more and more, more and more. Yes. Okay. Somebody has mentioned self-management, service to others, execution of planning. Wow. Okay. Then strategic thinking and implementing. Okay. Let me say Lena Jacob, teamwork. Ringu Mama, stay harmony. Then comes Lena Jacob, service to others. Trisha Muller, self-management. Svetlin Albert, execution of planning. Monica Seals, strategic thinking and implementing. Then Sakti Kumar G, getting knowledge and implementing our skills are the fact to be great personality. Here, skill is nothing but the initiative taken from ourselves. Okay, some more suggestions. Some more suggestion. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, this is Indira Priyadarshini. Good afternoon, sir. This is Indira Priyadarshini from Scad World School, Paladam. Great. What is your answer, ma'am? Which is the most important skill on this planet? What is the most important skill on this planet? Okay. Dharma, Lingam, communication. Okay. What else? Anybody else? Anybody else? I'm waiting. I thought I was told Scad children, Scad teachers, they all participate actively. Then comes Dharma Lingam, communication skill. Okay, somebody else? I'm not seeing the active participation so far from the Scad group. Today is your foundation day. Dr. Babu, we send you our best wishes, regards, and everything nicely. So I want to get more participation, more and more people. I want to understand what you people think, what is the most important skill on this planet. Please go ahead. What is the most important skill on this planet? People all the way from Scad group, from the Scad schools, I wish to hear from you. What is the most important skill on this planet? Someone else? What is the most important skill? Someone else? What is the most important skill? Someone else? Anybody else? Okay. It is Switlin Albert, time management. Mini R, hello sir. Then comes Trisha Buller, adaptability, teamwork, creativity. Then comes Neelam, hi sir, my name is Nikhil, my school name is GSS, Self Smart School Thales. Indra Priyadarshini, bring patience. Okay, be patient, right? Anybody else? Dr. John Abraham, are we ready?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm ready.
Right. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. And this afternoon, I do not know where from, but This is right over here. Listening and speaking and exit. Okay. Is he from your organization, Dharma Lingam?
Yes, he is from Scad Group of Schools, Palladam, sir, Coimbatore, Manchester, India.
So the 200 rupees cash award from our chamber goes because the exact word is communication skills. Communication skill is the most important skill on this planet. When you connect heart to heart, soul to soul, mind to mind, your communication, the moment you open your mouth, you tell the whole world who you are. So communication skill is very important. So we have got Dr. John Abraham back over here in the saddle. I would request him to take on, please.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for bearing with me for the technical snag. I will show the last video which is related with the education path out of poverty, and then we go into the what I wanted to say with regard to the new education policy. Can you hear, sir?
Yes, fine.
Rural areas, the communication skills are a very, very big problem. Those opportunities are less, and this is a big challenge for the young people. So we try to substitute that through some language teaching, skill trainings, and soft skills and so on, so that they get better employment.
You give anybody XYZ, irrespective of caste, creed and religion, will make them into a human being who will go for a job that transfers their life. So government is only giving education. That knowledge doesn't lead to the employment.
என் பேர் தமிழ்ச்செல்வி, எங்கள் அப்பா பேர் டேவிட் சின்னசாமி. எங்கள் அப்பா ஒரு லெப்ரஸியால் பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்காரு. நாங்கள் இருக்கிறது லெப்ரஸி காலனி சத்யா நகர். எங்கள் அப்பா 20 வருஷமாக அந்த ஊரில் இருக்காங்க. டீச்சர் ட்ரைனிங் 2nd இயர். நிறைய நல்ல பிள்ளைங்களெல்லாம் உண்டாக்கணும் ஜென்ரேஷனுக்கு. எங்கள் அப்பா ரொம்ப கஷ்டப்பட்டு தான் அந்த ஸ்கூல்லையும் சேர்த்தாங்க. அப்புறம் நான் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமாக படித்து 12th முடித்தேன். அதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கே வரணும்னு நான் எதிர்பார்க்கவே இல்லை. ஸ்கேடு ஹெல்ப் பண்ணுறனால எங்கள் அப்பா அந்த ஸ்கேடில் சேர்த்து விட்டாங்க.
So I continue with my discussion where I left before showing the
Please go ahead.
As my slide says, change is very hard, but it is necessary. Now, if we are looking into change in our country, especially bringing out the social change through education, it is going to be very hard. And though it is very hard, I think it is necessary. Like how we see a butterfly, going through the process, how it comes out from a pupa. That is the caterpillar, the egg turning into a caterpillar, and the caterpillar into a pupa, and the pupa turning into a butterfly. Now it's a process, it's a change, from one stage to the other stage. But the end result, when you see from the pupa, the butterfly coming out, it is so painful. But when it comes out, you see how beautiful and how wonderful and how colorful it is. So every change is very hard, but it is necessary. In a country like us, where I left before I started showing the video, after 74 years of our independence, still we call ourselves developing. Why, when the other small tiny nations like Japan has already become a superpower, why India is still calling itself as developing. There are many reasons into it, and this is not a time where I go into each of the factors and start to elaborate, because the topic given to me is, can we bring social change through our new education policy? And those who are willing to change are the people who will grow. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Now, if you want to grow, you have to come out of your comfort zone. I always believe that sitting in your comfort zone, we cannot grow. We will remain where we are. If there is a tree or a plant which is under a big banyan tree, it cannot grow until and unless the big banyan tree is cut or it is dead. It doesn't give an opportunity to the ones which are around it or underneath it. A person who's willing to change are the people who are going to grow. That is what my slide before I go into the discussion. I wanted to. Now, yesterday we had a very good webinar on the same platform where we spoke about Atmanirbhar Bharat, that is self-reliant India. Everyone is looking. As an Indian, I look when our country will be self-sufficient. But there are many, social, economic, factors which are holding us back from reaching to it. But I see there is a bright future for our country, as Navjot Singh Sidhu always says, through his quotes, that a light that you see at the end of the tunnel is not the light of ray of hope, but it is the train which is coming from the other end. But I don't say that. I say that it's a light of hope that we can always, when we go through the tunnel and we reach out, we can see there will be a beautiful world. So there are many factors which lead into this, making India self-reliant. The first point, what I would like to discuss here is, are we digital? That we are digital migrants. When I say we are, I'm talking about my generation, my teachers, my principals of my school. We are all immigrant. We are all immigrant to this digital world. You see how March 2020 came and how it took the entire world in surprise. And hats off to all my teachers, not only belonging to Scad Group of Schools, but also the other schools, which they were ready to, accept the challenge and move forward, adjust themselves into this new assignment which is given where they go digital. So when we are going digital, we are all immigrants. We are not native. But our children are digital natives. They are born in this world. And they are born in this world when digital has taken its maximum. So they know to handle the digital equipments, the software, the hardware, easy and better than what we can. So there is no comparison with our children. We cannot compare ourselves with children, because they will always look at us as an immigrant. An immigrant doesn't have any say in the native. So our children are the native of the digital world. Now we have to accept this reality. As long as we live in the fool's paradise saying that we know everything, I don't think our children are going to accept us. We are not going to be accepted, because we are all by accident. We have moved into this digital world. Now the new education policy has been structured so beautiful. They have rearranged all this. What you saw in the previous videos, the Scad Group of School, the Scad Group is doing it already. But the new education policy gives again a hope for us. Can we reach out to the rural or to our villages? If we are able to build our villages where we find more than 70 to 75% of the population still are residing. If we are able to develop that, I think we can turn ourselves from developing to a developed country. The second point which I wanted to ponder here is, we should sensitize our teacher to social costs. Now, the policy is there. The government has done their bit. Now, is the institution ready to take? Now, who are the stakeholders? The first stakeholder is the teachers, the principals. Are we sensitized to the situation which is happening around us? Do we know what our villages are? How the people in villages are staying? Now, we talk about connectivity and all those things. I can hear and I can read every day in newspapers, and I hear from the TV news. the news or from the media that children walk kilometers together to get a tower where they can go and attend their classes. Now we are yet to develop, develop to a situation where our children can sit in their room and in their house or the place where they stay or where they reside to attend to the classes. Now, if a teacher is not sensitive to this, if a school is not sensitive to this, I don't think that whatever policy we bring, it is going to change the scenario in our country. So we should first prepare the teachers who can implement this program that we have in our NEP 2020. If the teachers are not trained, well equipped, I don't think it is going to work. It will be another disaster. So I request all the stakeholders, especially the management, the government, the central government, the state government, wherever the schools they are holding, to give more priority to teachers, training, skill development, soft skills, and over that, to be sensitive to the issues, what they are facing onto a day-to-day life, every day that they face. If the government, whether it's the state government or the central government, is going to give importance to it, even the private management, I'm also talking to the private management through this platform, if they have to see this new education policy to be implemented where they wanted to see there should be a social change, I think they should start preparing good teachers. What lacks today, if we look into the country, the situation in our country, why we are going through all these things and what we read in the newspaper, the headlines, is basically, as somebody said, the nation is built in 4 walls. Today it is not 4 walls. It has become digital. And the teachers are the main problem, where we see the teachers are not trained to tackle the issues which are being faced by the world today, especially in our country. So we have to train, equip our teachers and select those people who can be best for this job. Now, when we go into a IT sector or maybe into an industrial sector, they try to get and hire the best person for that job. Now, why don't we do it in case of our education? Why don't we do it? We give certain entrance exams and it is based on the subject competency that we are able to select the teachers. Is there any test which has been conducted for teachers where we are able to test their the psychology of the teacher, whether the teacher is fit for the job? I doubt. I say no. There is no questions related in the entrance exams, so-called entrance exams, or the interviews which have been done where we select the teacher. If the teacher has a good communication skill in English, I think the teacher makes a way into some of the private institutions. If the teacher is good in a subject based on the marks, I think that is one wrong thing that we always do. When we interview a teacher, we look into the marks. I think there are teachers who can do better job, who has got a 3rd class, can do a much better work as a communicating, things to the to the students than a teacher who has got a gold medal in a particular subject. So I think we as educationists should come together and propose this to the government if we can change the selection pattern of the teachers for the job. Yes, we have made the degree, B.Ed and all those things, we are extended, it is made mandatory and all those things in the new policy we see beautifully structured. But who is going to take up this responsibility of becoming a teacher? It's only those who don't get any other job, we see that they get into the sector. And again, we get somebody who is not fit for the job. And we are preparing the future generation with this hand. It is like a potter. If a potter gets good clay in the hand, he is able to make wonderful vessels. But the same clay is given to me. I'm not a potter, but I cannot make. I may even maybe make my entire body, dirt with that, because I don't understand how to make a beautiful vessel out of it. So to make a beautiful pot, I think we should be able to get a good potter. Same way, to make a good furniture, we need to get the best carpenter. Same way, if we want to get the best in the education sector, I think we should be able to get the best person who is fit for that job. And that can be done only through, changing our selection pattern. I think we are still hanging around with the old system of selecting teachers And I think the state government and the central government and the private management should look seriously into it. Now, once they select a person, they should give them skill development. If they are good in the subject and they have some soft skill and they are skillful, I think we should be able to, on a monthly or a term base, we have to train them and tell them that they have to be updated with what are the changes which are happening in our environment, in our surrounding. So until and unless the private management, the state government and the central government is going to invest some money and time in the development of the teachers, I don't think that this education policy that we have can bring some good fruit as everyone is expecting. Now, coming to the next point, we should teach our children to cooperate rather than compete. Now, when we look into a school, because I'm basically from a school sector, education sector, so I can talk about, in most of the schools we give opportunity for solo dance, solo singing, and the parents also like that because it is their child who is going there. And you see all this talent which is happening today, talent search on the television, you find it's all solo. Now, why is it happening? It is because of the system that we are following in the schools. We give encouragement for that. Now, we teach the child to be alone, and the child becomes being a team player, an individual brilliance is brought out of an individual. And that child, if the child is tried to put in a group, I think the child miserably will fail. So I think the schools or the institutions should start promoting, that is, instead of bringing in solo, trying to ask the child to compete, I think they should start bringing the concept called cooperating, to bring in group dance, group singing, group activities. It's only in these group activities one person will be able to coordinate with the other person. If the person may be individually brilliant in dance, if the person is not able to coordinate the rhythm, the steps with another person in that group, I think he is miserably going to fail. So I think that we should teach our students to cooperate rather than to compete. A very important point next, what I would like to bring to everyone is we should drive in compassion. That is one thing which is lacking in our school education. Compassion is not there. Now, if we have to, I'm not going trying to take some facts from here and there and try to hurt some sentiments of any people. But I'm telling about a state which is one of the, I should say, when we talk about the literacy rate, it stands first in our country, the state. And when I'm mentioning the incident, I think some of you who are listening to me can start figuring it out if you are in touch with the global awareness, what is happening around. A state which stands first in the literacy rate. Here you see a boy is beaten to death. Why? Because he stole a bun from a shop because he was hungry. He was starving for so many days. His only fault was he stole a bun. A society, a state where we rate them to be the top in the country's list as the most literate state. That state you find such incidents happening because I think the compassion is totally absent in the society today. I don't believe, and I always support, if a child is able to steal a piece of bun or maybe a food from somewhere, I think it is talking about our nation or our society where everyone is not been fed. I think it talks very high about the situation in our country now, and that is a place where I think that we should start bringing in this compassion in our children. And how can it be done? It starts right away from the home. It right away starts from home, and then it can be taken to the schools. I think that the mother plays a very important role in bringing in this compassion. The mother packs this lunch and gives to the child and says, "Beta, you should take this lunch, don't give it to anyone." Now you tell me, when the child comes back home, what will be the first question every mother asks this question: "Beta, did you have your food? Did you have your lunch?" See, that is the question that most of the mother ask. I would wait for a day when the mother will ask the child, Is there any child in your class who didn't bring lunch, who didn't have lunch? I think that day, I think the education would have reached to the society, to the deep into every home where we see the social change, the compassion. I think the mother, the teachers who are at the school should start driving in compassion into every child. If this is done, I think we can easily see the social change in our country, in our state. Yesterday we celebrated International Girls' Child. Everyone, making posters by shouting slogans. I think we cannot empower or even give safety to our girls, our girl children, our the women's in our country by putting good posters and shouting slogans. What they need is our care, our support. Are we doing much in our education system to educate the to bring out the gender difference? Are we doing about it? Does this new education policy talk about it? Is it giving away? Does it have anything where we can see that there is no gender? Now, when a child takes an admission in the school, I think there are so many things that the parameter what the parent has to fill in the admission form. We see there is a gender column. And then you find there is a caste. Now, I think my serious question is, why do we need this? Why do we need these columns in the admission forms? Can we just get away, just know the child, the father and the mother, and forget about which religion, which language, which gender, which caste does that child belong to it? Now, once we can make some changes in these and focus on what is our main agenda, the main agenda is to educate the child so that the child becomes an instrument in bringing social change. Now, once that change is brought, I think there will be automatically development, which is the fruit of the social change. So my request, humble request to everyone, when we celebrate these days, Women's Day, Girls' Day, and still we see around all the nonsense which is happening, around us in our country, I think all the slogans and posters goes without any purpose. I think we should seriously get into a business where we are able to, empower our girl children. Especially the schools have to take up this, as a very serious, point where they start supporting and building up girl children. They should be given more opportunity to come forward. They should not be suppressed. They should not be suppressed. If we are going to suppress the women's and the girls today, I think we are not going to progress. One of the reasons why Japan has developed is because of the equal opportunity that they give to all the citizens. It's an equal opportunity. Now, coming to the next point is the rural schools enrollment of the students should increase. Now, this is one major, I think, challenge which the government will face when they are implementing this new education policy. They have a beautiful policy on one side. And if you look into the rural setup, I think those who work in the rural areas will endorse with me and will agree with me that we are trying to call children into the classroom. And when there is no livelihood for them at home, the parents will be willing that the children should be a helping hand for them in the farmland, or maybe the small cottage industry that they have, or the village industry that they have, and to support them. And we as educationists go and request the children to come to the school, and we ask them to study subjects like maths, physics, chemistry, biology, without even understanding that what they're going to do with these things in near future. And then we give an examination, an assessment, and then in that assessment we see that they miserably fail. Now there is two things into it. One, the policy which has been implemented without any purpose. The other side, we see that there is no income in the house, so the parents are not willing to send the children to the schools, especially when it comes to the period of harvest and sowing. Now, There are areas which I know where I worked, in some of the rural areas where I worked, I have heard when the plucking season comes, the children absent from themselves from the school, because they will go to the area, to the farmland where the plucking, because in a day they can get at least 40 rupees to 50 rupees, and they can support the income to the livelihood to the family. Now, with these things which are happening in our country, in our society, I think the government has an important role of just framing an education policy and giving it to the educationists to implement it. I think the government has to come out with some solid, formulas which can be implemented to get these children from the rural area to come into the school and enroll, not just on the attendance register, the names are there as a roll, but they are attending the school on a daily basis. And when they come, if you look into the education policy now, the vocational training is given very important. And some of the schools like Scad Group of Schools are giving emphasis on it. And as I told you last week, the Scad Girls School Palladam, which is in Coimbatore, was rated 7th, one among the 7 schools in India as the best school which promotes life skill. Now, why life skill? Very important. It is not just physics, maths, chemistry, geography the child is going to take up and going to live the rest of his life. Until and unless the child is taught life skill, how to handle certain things on a daily basis, I don't think that we will be able to bring any social change in due course of time. Bringing about changes in the outlook and attitude of men. Now, when I'm talking about this, I would like to show you a slide with a picture. See, this is what we talk about Japan. This is what happened in 2018 when Japan was the last 16. They knocked out. They were knocked out in the quarterfinal. But this is the article which came in the magazine and the newspaper, that whenever they played a match in any of the stadium, the dressing room and the stadium, the Japanese spectators, they cleaned up the entire stadium and the dressing room and left a thanking note to the authorities. Now, how did this come into their lifestyle? It is not that somebody, the coach would have told, okay, this is what we have to do. It is not a strategy. It is a lifestyle. Now, why do you find that Japan is not much affected with this coronavirus? Because they already had the system in the place that when they go out into the public place, they have to wear a mask. Social distancing is kept. Now, these are certain systems that we have to implement in our education policies, and that has to be implemented in school. We have to teach, because when we say teaching is only an instruction. But what school has to do is, from teaching, they have to shift towards learning today. And all the institutions, all the schools and colleges should turn into a place, an institution where it can be called as learning center. When a child learns, then the child will be able to take it as a habit formation, and it will be a lifestyle. But if you are going to teach a child, I don't think you are going to get any result in due course of the time. I'll show you one more slide, which most of you are familiar with, in schools. And this is a graffiti that you find on the school desk. Now, how do we take, we have tried it in our schools. Some of the, like for example, the school where I was before, that is Bishop Cotton Boys School, or the other schools, where you find it's not just in one school, you find in all the schools is graffiti. Now, how do you bring this change in the mindset of the people, the students, the people who are there, the students? It is only by giving them the ownership that you have to take responsibility of the table and the chair which is given to you. Now, once you give that responsibility, give them a new table, varnish it, you sandpaper it, varnish it, and give to them something new when they come to the school. And tell them, child, this belongs to you. And when you leave the school, give me back this property. Till then, it is your property. And when we start giving them that ownership, I think the mindset will change. And these are the ways we have made so much of change in these schools that I'm talking about. And today, when you walk into the schools, you don't find this graffiti on the table or in the washrooms. Why? Because we are in the process of changing the mindset of these children, because that can only become by giving them the ownership. Most of the schools don't do it. What they do is they just give them what is called as teaching. Come to the class, learn maths, physics, chemistry, conduct an assessment, give them a certificate and say you have got this grade, and they leave. Until and unless we do that, I don't think we are going to make any social change. So let me conclude, that the new education policy is fantastic. I cannot say that it's a old wine in new bottle. I will not say that, but we have to wait and watch if this education policy can bring some social changes. And I think most of the schools are already into it. And I would like to thank the Honorable Prime Minister to take this bold step to bring this a radical change, I must say, a very, to bring out, what do you call it, as rearrange, the entire system and bring it into a beautiful, systematic way. I think which the country was longing for a system like this education policy. Now the onus is on the government school, the state government or the central government or the private managed schools to implement it. And for implementation, you need the right people. If the people that they get will be right, I think we can bring some changes in the society. And if we are able to bring those changes, I think you can very soon see some uh, development. And with this note, I would like to end my talk. If there is any questions, I would like to take, sir. Humbly, I request you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. John Abraham. It was wonderful. And our deepest and heartiest congratulations to you. Today is the foundation day of your organization. And we have also come to know what is the full form, because I didn't know what exactly SCAD stands for. Social Change and Development. That is fantastic. The videos which you have shown, they were very inspiring. They were very realistic. They were very ground oriented. And that was the need of the hour. And please do send us the name and the bank details of Mr. Dharma Lingam.
Sure,
Dharma
sir. I'll do
Lingam,
that.
because he gets 200 rupees, or he or she, they
Please.
get 200 rupees for that particular wonderful answer which he has given, because communication skill is the most. So, ladies and gentlemen, it was wonderful to hear Dr. John Abraham. The policy has been announced, and now the taste is in the eating and enjoying the pudding, and that is implementing. And thereafter, we see how the digestive system is, because we got to see the monitoring of the policy. That part we have to take care of. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have you with us, and look forward for many more such occasions with you, Dr. John Abraham ji.